Very interesting bill passed in the Michigan Senate on Tuesday. The Senate approved legislation in a bipartisan way that was offered by our former Secretary of State, Ruth Johnson. She's now serving in the Senate as a Republican out of Holly, and she joins us this morning to talk about her legislation, which is aimed at helping to protect victims of domestic abuse and sexual assault, stalking, human trafficking, by keeping their physical addresses, in other words, their home address, for instance, hidden from their offenders. And how do you go about doing that? Well, she would know. She was Secretary of State, and she's on the other end of our line. Senator Johnson, good morning. Good to have you with us.
Good morning. It's great to be here, and I'm very proud to say that the bill passed 100% bipartisan.
Isn't that great?
Fabulous.
Yeah,
We're doing the right thing for the right reason.
Well, exactly. And, that old line about can't we all just get along? Yes, we can. And that's proof of it right there. So how exactly would you keep the addresses of these victims hidden from their abusers and others? And how do you see it helping them?
Well, it does start out with the Secretary of State office to shield addresses on personal IDs or driver's licenses, as well as they won't be on the qualified voter file that's made public. It would protect minors in the program from having their addresses disclosed by their school, and it has an educational component to help empower victims so they'll have the information so they'll know how they can further help to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm. What led you to pursue this?
It was a bill that went through the House last session, and it just didn't make it the rest of the way. So we made a few tweaks, met with the stakeholders, which I appreciate everyone pitching in, and we come up with a good bill, and we hope we can help those that are really at risk. They do have to move. They can't stay where they're at. There's other states that have done this. It's worked really well, and it will keep confidential the addresses of victims of domestic violence, stalking, human trafficking, and anyone that's in fear of their safety.
So are these predators seeking out the information of their victims after the victims move to get away from them? Is that what's going on?
Yes, that's exactly what's going on that we want to be able to stop. We don't think there'll be thousands of people, but we think there'll be hundreds and hundreds that are in a situation where their life is at risk or their safety is at risk.
Yeah, well, it doesn't have to be thousands. It can be just one. And if you can protect that one life, then, it's worth it, right?
Yes, we can tell from other states there might be possibly 800 people out there in that situation in Michigan right now. What a horrible position to be in.
Well, yeah, every day you get up, you worry that the person who abused you might be coming at your door or might be sneaking in the back door at night or, who knows what. It's got to be. I can't even imagine being in that situation.
I can't either. I can't imagine with a child either, and that's why the school can't give out the addresses for these folks too. So it does go through the Attorney General's office. They'll have to decide if they're a candidate or not, and then there'll be a complete process to go through.
So the process is that you apply to the Attorney General's office first to see if you qualify to have your identity, for lack of a better term, hidden?
Exactly, and of course they will need to have proof that you are in that situation. And this isn't anything easy. The person would have to get up and leave wherever they're living, go to a new place, and they will have to not participate in the things that they did before. Mm-hmm. It's only as good as its weakest link, this whole system, so you'd have to give up a lot to be able to utilize this bill.
Senator Johnson, do you have the sort of the agreement, or how has the Attorney General's office reacted to this bill? Because our Attorney General, I don't want to get you in a fight with her, but she marches to the beat of her own drummer.
I believe that she will support this 100%. We have talked to her, and this is nonpartisan. It's just caring about others that have no one to lobby for them. We need to lobby for them as elected officials, and I believe that our Attorney General will be very helpful in this way.
Good. That's a good sign, because these are, when we start talking about the most vulnerable among us, that's what we're talking about right here.
It is. And, I believe that you can hold your core values, and at the same time, we agree on different parties and within our parties on 85% of what we need to do. And that's what we need to be doing, not spending 85% of the time fighting.
Mm-hmm. So the bottom line is the address of the person who's been abused, whether it's a female, a male, a child, doesn't matter. That address will be protected from public view at every venue in Michigan. You're not going to be able to get that address anywhere.
That's right, Frank, and we don't want any weak links in this chain. So we think we've got all the bases covered.
All right. Well, have you got the approval of the new Secretary of State as well, Jocelyn Benson? Is she on board with this?
Yes, she's on board.
Beautiful. So she feels that she can help protect those addresses as well.
Yes, it'll largely be done through Department of Technology Management and Budget. They do all the computer work for the Secretary of State's office. So it'll be their responsibility.
All right. And you did say earlier it passed the House, right?
It has, but not this time, not this term. So we'll be sending it to the House now.
Okay. And if they approve it, then it becomes law, and we've got more safeguards in place for those who are abused here in Michigan. Good stuff, Ruth Johnson. We appreciate it and the time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Frank, and have a great day.
All right, you too. We'll talk again soon. Ruth Johnson, now the state senator, Republican from Holly.